Well, a little bit of a different start to this video. We're just finishing up work here and gonna go ride some bikes. Obviously, by the title of the video, we will be running the Pivot Shuttle LT. Just recently picked up this bike. Rode it about a good handful of times now, probably 5 or 6 times. A couple little minor issues that I've had with it, just like the seat post and the clamping mechanism for that. That is an SDG seat post, not necessarily a Pivot one or a Fox or anything like that. So a couple little things so far, but overall really enjoyed the bike. And I wanted to ride it a couple times before I made any videos, because kind of work out the kinks, get the suspension set up. But pretty good so far. The Bosch Performance Race is a little bit different than the Shimano that I've been running on the Intense e-bike. Unfortunately, the snow has a jet's going by. Is that a military jet? Yeah, military jet having fun. Unfortunately, it's still a lot of snow in Colorado, so we're stuck in the, oh, another one? Jeez, of course. So, as I was saying, as I was rudely interrupted by the jets, not that I'm at an airport or anything, is the snow is still here in Colorado. I guess it is only early March, but I'm obviously just eager to ride the bike. I'm sure all the skiers are stoked that we're still getting snow in the high country, but we're stuck to the desert today. But I feel like we can go find some decent enough trails to see kind of what this thing's made of. Like I said, I've been having a blast on it, couple little minor things, but I'm excited to show you guys and strap on the GoPro today, get some laps in. Let's get after it. Taco cruising. Part of the dash is out though. Recent engine light, but 325,000 miles, still kicking away. Might rain, not good. We'll see, hopefully it just stays overcasty. Oh, just my luck, just my luck. All right, 1 click, almost 2 clicks down. I'm just gonna watch the boost mode today. We'll definitely still be using it, just maybe not as much. Get cruising. Oh, Colorado keeps just teasing us with the slightest bit of spraying every now and then it snows again. For example, today's nice, I think tomorrow's okay, and then it's snowing again. Oh, missed it. So what I hear a lot regarding the Bosch motor, specifically this version, I think version 4 possibly, and the whole ongoing question, why didn't Pivot go to the version 5 motor on these new LTs? I get the argument for sure, because they're a lot quieter. Although the Performance Race Edition adds a little bit more power, supposedly, the V5 is not as loud, and totally understand that complaint. I haven't personally rode the V5 before, the motor. Really, regarding the noise, like, yes, it's there. It's really noticeable, or I should say a lot more noticeable than like the Shimanos or some other brands, really on the chattery braking bumps. Like, for example, that road there with a little bit of chatter, that's when I hear it. Other than that, like, it's not too bad. Like, I am the person to like and really enjoy a quiet bike. I do everything that I can to have a quiet bike. So yes, it is a little bit annoying, but it doesn't bother me like too much, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, to each their own. I think some people, yes, it would drive them crazy. To me, I'm kind of right in the middle. So a couple of the issues that I've had with the bike so far, somewhat minor, is the seat attachment for that SDG seat post. It has like a swivel on it and it slides on. That broke, I think like ride 2 or 3, broke the attach point to the seat rails. I ordered a couple more, hopefully see if maybe it was just an installation error and I possibly had it too far forward or back. I'm not sure, very questionable at this point. So we're gonna give this a try, the new attachment. If that doesn't work, I'll be going to Fox or something else, but that was kind of a bummer. And then also, a weird one, which I think is gonna be an easy fix, is the rear axle bolt. Keeps coming loose like every ride. I feel like I tighten it every ride and get like a quarter turn on it. So should be an easy fix with Loctite. Obviously I'm using the correct torque settings, and then if I'm out on a trail, you know, obviously I'm just going snug, but other than that, bike's doing really well. So here we are climbing up a pretty mellow grade trail. Pretty technical though, typical Western Colorado desert trails. Lots of tech. And I'm currently in blue mode. Yeah, blue. So you got green, blue, purple, and red, which is the race. So I guess one up from eco, or the lowest, and it's really just cruising up totally fine. I mean, I feel like it's difficult to judge e-bike climb performance because everything's so good nowadays that you really can't go wrong. Now, the race mode, which should be red, which I'm in now, is a little bit funky, and I say that just because when you engage the pedal, the motor engages, and then you stop pedaling, the motor stays engaged for a couple seconds. Now, oddly enough, I've ridden a bike just like this, motor-wise, or at least race mode-wise, and that was on the old Canevos, back when like first when e-bikes came out. That's honestly kind of what the motor did, I think, unnaturally, and it wasn't designed that way, but since it's such an old design and it was new at the time, if that makes any sense, if you guys are even tracking what I'm saying, wow, that sucked, that it was so new that they didn't quite figure it out. And that's what, and maybe it was an error on my bike, but my brother's bike did the same thing. Anyways, the motor would stay engaged, and you're like, dude, I'm done pedaling, like stop. That's kind of what race mode is on this bike. So I kind of know like what it's trying to do, and I get the point of it. And actually a couple times it has helped. But I will say, pretty rare when I actually run that mode. Like a tiny baby downhill section. And that's really what I'm here to talk about this bike, or really why I got it. It's just because the downhill capabilities of it is so good. Oh, this is my trail. Oh, so good. Take the slower but more technical line. so I can just barely hear the rattle on the motor. I'm not sure if you guys are picking it up. I'm trying to best describe it. Almost sounds like an annoying little bee. It's just kind of following me around. Man, maybe not a buzz. I don't know. So one thing I am noticing on the climb portion is, again, back to this terribly designed seat post dropper attachment, is some creaks. So this will definitely be getting replaced. What is this? SDG. Yeah, sorry guys, you guys are not making the cut. Broken seat posts, and then now really bad creaking. So it's a little frustrating. I'm not sure if this comes on all specs. I believe the highest spec LT might have a Fox dropper, but this particular spec has a SDG, and it's terrible. So that's probably what you guys hear. If you guys are like me, as I said earlier, and really care about bike noise and how much it produces, not a good move for that seat. And then you're gonna probably hear, this will probably be one of the best sections to potentially hear the motor rattle, if you guys haven't already heard it before. But like I said, that doesn't really drive me crazy like this seat post does. This is kind of more of like an open road type setup. It's actually really fun. Pants came unbuttoned. All right, so what we're gonna do, go into race mode. This is a pretty steep climb. GoPro probably doesn't know justice. I'll maybe try to look sideways a little bit without crashing, so you guys could see potentially the incline, but it's got a little bit to it, and the thing just really hooks up and cruises really nicely. In race, starting to kind of mellow out grade wise, but getting some chunk. Just kind of cruising. Oh, this rattle, or this, oh, it's so annoying. The seat post, man, that is terrible. But get to look at that view. So we got one of the best downhill sections coming up. We got to work our way around this hill, and then a really fun portion of the trail. But just wanted to come out to this overlook. Suspension wise, Fox 38 Performance fork, and then the X2 float Performance on the rear. I've been running Öhlins for the past 3 years or so, and obviously this bike came with the Fox suspension, and I really enjoy it. Actually, still a huge fan of Öhlins. I'll be keeping my commensal and still running Öhlins on that bike, but really happy with this. I set it up per Fox recommendations on their website and just put in my weight, and I added some PSI to both those recommendations just for my riding style, a little bit more aggressive. So I did add a little bit, and I'm more than happy with it. That's the current setup right there. Set my sag, all that super stoked on the suspension actually. No issues with that so far. I did end up purchasing a S2 frame, which is equivalent to their medium. It's kind of what Specialized Sizing has been doing for quite some time now. Pivot kind of introduced that, I guess, 1 or 2 years ago. So it is S2. I normally run a large on bikes, but the reason why I went to a medium, not really because of Pivot sizing, is simply because I just wanted a more playful bike. I am 5'10" and about 100, just less than 160 pounds, and I really enjoy this. I could absolutely see myself riding a large though as well. It's simply because I wanted a more playful bike, and that's why I went to medium. So if you're like me, between the two different sizes, like on all bike brands, the medium and the larges, I think it really just depends on your riding style. But yeah, overall super happy that I went with the medium this time. All right, back down to the best portion of the track. We got to go back down this little hill that we did to overlook. Hello. How's it going? Good, thank you. All right, let's get after it. Right there, I can hear it just because of braking bumps. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. Short little ride on the Pivot Shuttle LT. Absolute blast of a bike to ride. I'm not the person here to tell you whether to buy it or not. I think Pivot does demo rides on these bikes at their local facility in Phoenix. I also think they have like traveling vans that drive around with bikes to demo. To each their own. People can make the argument about, well, they should have waited for the V5 motor. There's reasons why they didn't, and who knows. So I think it all comes down to personal opinion. I'm just here to ride bikes and have fun, and this bike provides it. So I do recommend, but to each their own. I think there's plenty of other bikes out in the industry that do the exact same thing. And all depends on personal preference. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and we'll see you on the next one. One thing that I will not tell you to buy is that right there, SDG seat post. At least this version of it. Terrible.